Now we are going to watch position 116 from this book by Carsten Müller, which is focused on teaching you the real core of the opening, which is not just the opening moves, but the middle game. What are the middle game ideas? How do you create a plan in the middle game? So through 120 position, Muller is trying to teach you all the ideas of this opening, the Queen's Gambit exchange variation. I think you should get the book also if you don't play that opening, because it's quite possible that similar pawn formations happen in other openings, and so you will already have the library of patterns you need in order to play the middle game correctly. So this is position 116. Okay, so let's go here. Position 116 was played between Eljanov and Liu in China 2018. Eljanov, if I recall well, it's a Ukrainian grandmaster, and he was white. Here it says, given that white obviously has more space on in the right half, he has also freer piece play. However, the defensive power of the black's position should not be underestimated. In the game, thanks to the inaccurate advance, he played h4, because this is the thing. Müller asks you a question. In this case, is here white has one last chance to play what? So you must think for white what you could play. In the game, h4 was played, but it seems is not the right move, because it gives black the time to consolidate the position. With what? After h4 there is queen e6. Okay? Instead, can you imagine, the right move in this position is e4. Can you imagine that? Huh? Of course, Eljanov is honestly a very strong player, so why didn't play this? Because why do I tell you that? Because Eljanov, if I'm not wrong, is over 2600, so he's not someone who play chess over the weekend. It's a monster, right? Because maybe what is the less than the 1% of human players reach that. So what would have happened here? No? If black takes on f4, white takes on d5. Okay? And here white is better. Maybe because this knight is in the wrong position, and the squares where it can go are all controlled by the white pieces. But let's see, instead of queen f4, the most obvious answer, that is that d takes e4. And now there are two options that white can have, right? One is knight takes e4, and two is rook takes e4. Knight takes e4 is not the right move, okay? So I will just check the line with rook takes e4. However, it would be good if you take the book, because the book has a lot of variations, and sometimes to reproduce all of them over the board can become a little tricky. In some cases there is not a diagram here at the end, so it's a little difficult to memorize the position. f5, g takes f5, g takes f5, rook e1, doesn't say anything else. But the point of a position is that probably white will want to play queen b3, d5, and rook d e3. So that's the plan. Okay. Notice that there are also in many of these line, like rook takes e4, there was also a possible counteract which is b5. And so here you can see them. So let me go back to the position, and I will eventually show you the other line, okay? Okay, I think I reproduced the position correctly. Carsten Müller says this was the right move to play for white. Instead, in the game, this was the one played. However, there is an interesting thing which he says, which is the following. b5 was the most interesting counter-attack, to which there are few possibilities by white. And like always, feel free to pause the video and think for yourself, because this kind of position where there are multiple possibilities of pushing the pawn, exchanging the pawns, in the middle game, in a real tournament game, they will waste you a ton of time in calculation. So if you can do it already now, you will see that maybe it will help you a little. So here, Carsten Müller shows e5, that says it's not good. Can you imagine? E takes d5, not good. And now I can tell you the crazy thing. It seems e3. e3 is the move to play in this position. I honestly think, obviously, it's a difficult position. This is why the book is clearly worthy, because maybe you need to waste your time, in a sense, and do your homework instead of just following Carsten Müller, because the line he gives is a5, e takes d5, b4, d takes c6, b takes c3, and here there is rook take c3, with the idea of queen b3 followed by d5 and rook c e3. So clearly this is a beautiful position for white, and the evaluation is white has at least a strong minimal advantage, because thanks to the included pair of moves, the king has obtained a left, so an escape, and the black a-pawn has moved within reach. I don't know, clearly interesting position to see over the board how it plays out. And eventually one can use these positions chosen by Carsten Müller, Grandmaster Carsten Müller, to improve your middle game, playing against an engine more or less at your level. I don't know, my level it's around 2000, so I would put an engine to 2000 and see if I can play it right or not. And then you let the engine play your side. Maybe you start with white, you lose, then you put the position again, you let the engine play white, and you see that you lose as black, but this time you have learned something that you can use in the next game, that you are white and you play like the engine. So in this way you clearly grow out as a middle game expert. Notice that in the book there are all the QR codes, so it's clearly very interesting also for those that don't have a chessboard, because you just point and click your phone and you will get that position. Also a tablet, if you have a tablet, it's perfect, because you will see the game and all the variation analyzed by Carter Mueller. So it's even maybe easier than playing over the board in some cases, for those that are just about chess improvement. I hope you will enjoy the book.